Disclaimer. The comments made in this video are intended for entertainment purposes only and are not intended to offend anyone. Welcome back to When Delusional Woke Feminists Get Destroyed number 3, where logic meets emotional damage and leaves undefeated. Grab your popcorn. The hypocrisy buffet is open. First off, a woke woman tries to explain away crime as poverty activism, and Charlie Kirk hands her a logic bill she can't afford.
There's a reason that a lot of the black community doesn't have a father, and it's because of systemic racism. Like, black men are more likely to be in prison.
Oh yeah, so why do people go to prison?
Like, a lot of the time it's because they're in poverty and they have no other way to get...
Okay, so they commit crimes. In poverty, we should give excuses for committing crime?
I'm saying, like, if someone is stealing something because they have no money and there's no jobs...
That's so interesting. So you think most crimes are crimes of necessity in the black community?
Like, if there's no jobs, like, you're going to do drugs. I mean, you're gonna trade drugs because that's the only option you have.
It's such a difference in worldview. You're making excuses for criminals.
Yeah,
and what an insult to poor immigrants that came to this country that didn't commit crimes and worked 2 or 3 jobs and worked themselves out of poverty and didn't decide to go deal coke.
Well, my father is a white immigrant from Poland, and he committed crimes. And he's fine now. So.
Did he go to jail?
Yeah, he did.
I thought there was systemic racism. I thought that doesn't happen very much.
So the argument goes, if you're broke, crime's basically charity work. I'm starting to think systemic racism is just the universal coupon for moral bankruptcy. At this rate, we'll need rehab for people addicted to blaming society. Now, a group of self-proclaimed feminists try running the same tired safety argument, and the host flips it right back on them like a logic boomerang.
If say you're a white person, and you're gonna say, I had a bad experience with a person of a different racial group, that's the same justification women use for wanting to have these certain protections in place. Why can't a white person say, I only want to ride with a white person?
Well, they should probably get a car.
Okay, women should probably get a car.
I'm just joking.
Then again, a white person can say, I don't feel safe around this racial group. So then what would be your objection if their basis for their racism is due to their safety concerns?
What exactly are the safety concerns?
Well, so you would agree that if a woman has had firsthand negative, bad experiences with a man, that would be their justification for a safety concern, right? So like,
Yes.
Let's say a white person got beat up by a black person 3 years ago. They could then use this as justification for feeling unsafe around black people.
And more in terms of like size, and men are bigger, testosterone, men have more testosterone, they're stronger, their ability to build muscle, they can more. Like, race doesn't have anything to do with that, really.
But just because you're larger or physically stronger than somebody, that's not basis for prejudice against them, assuming they're going to be violent or a predator.
He points out that if women can generalize all men because of one bad experience, then by their own logic, someone could do the same racially. Suddenly the table goes quiet. Guess consistency isn't part of the curriculum. This one might be the shortest KO in the compilation.
So if someone comes to you, young as being like, listen, I was given this gender, but I do not feel like this gender. I really wish that I could live as another. Who are you to say you're incorrect?
A parent.
She's mid-rant about how no one should tell a child they're wrong about their gender, talking like it's deep philosophy, and the guy just says, a parent. That's it. One word, silence. You can practically hear her brain buffering, trying to find the progressive response to that. Here's pure secondhand embarrassment.
What do you have to say for the happy trans community?
You said that people need this stuff so they can live happier lives, and potentially it'd be life-saving, you said even. Aside from your anecdotes of your friends who told you so, how do you know that?
Okay, so thinking back to when I was 16 in an anatomy class, when I learned that transgender people tend to have the brain structure that confirms their identity that they identify with. And you can look that up. That's a fact.
I will look that up.
Yeah, it's a fact.
I will look that up and I won't find it.
Yeah.
It's not a fact.
Oh,
it's not a fact.
Should we all pull out Google really quick and look?
So you're saying a trans man has the brain of a woman?
No. I'm saying that a trans man who identifies as a man will tend to have similar brain structure that a cis man would.
And where did you get that from?
Look it up. It's literally, I'm telling you, I learned it from my anatomy class when I was 16. And I looked up the fact before I walked up here because I knew that you'd ask.
Okay.
She walks up confident, ready to drop science on Matt Walsh, quoting something she half remembers from high school anatomy class. Then he just calmly asks, where did you get that from? And you can feel her confidence dissolve instantly. The more she insists it's a fact, the less convincing it sounds. Classic self-own. Let's roll into this one. A woke fundraiser can't explain her own good cause, proving that moral superiority doesn't come with a manual.
Hello.
Hi. I saw you doing a car wash.
Yeah. Yes.
What are the donations for?
It's for my friend Lynn here. She's transgender and we're trying to raise money for her hormones, though. It's for a good cause.
You call that a good cause? I mean, you're born who you are.
Yeah, and she was born as a trans girl.
Yeah, she's born as Lynn. This is who she is.
You can't change who you are. I mean, you're born a boy or you're born a girl.
It started as charity and ended as confusion. When your moral mission collapses under a single question, what's the good cause? Maybe the cause is just attention. Logic didn't even have to show up. Silence did the heavy lifting. Then, a self-proclaimed comedian claims dictators silence truth-tellers, and Damon Imani kindly reminds her she's neither.
He's not the first. Trump is not the first one to do this. Dictators go after comedians. Why? Because comedians tell the truth, make you laugh, and it resonates with you.
Well, Joy, good thing you're neither funny nor truthful.
She compares herself to truth-telling comedians under dictatorship while sitting comfortably on national TV. The drama is impressive. The comedy, not so much. Imani didn't argue. He simply reminded her that delusion isn't a form of art. Next up, a teacher bans curiosity by labeling questions as violence. The future of education. Don't ask, just obey.
You've referred to people with a capacity for pregnancy. Would that be women?
So I want to recognize that your line of questioning is transphobic, and it opens up trans people to violence by not recognizing that.
Wow, you're saying that I'm opening up people to violence by asking whether or not women are the folks who can have pregnancies?
So I want to note that 1 out of 5 transgender persons have attempted suicide. So I think it's important.
Because of my line of questioning? So we can't talk about it?
Because denying that trans people exist and pretending not to know that they exist.
I'm denying that trans people exist by asking you if you're talking about women having pregnancies?
Do you believe that men can get pregnant?
No, I don't think women can get
So you are
pregnant.
denying that trans people exist?
And that leads to violence? Is this how you run your classroom? Are students allowed to question you, or are they also treated like this, where
No,
they're told that they're opening up people to violence?
We have a good
by
time in my
questioning?
class. You should join.
I bet.
You might learn a lot.
Wow, I would learn a lot. I've learned a lot
I
just from this
know.
exchange.
Absolutely.
Extraordinary.
We've reached the stage where asking a question counts as violence. Imagine teaching kids that curiosity is oppression. The interviewer tried logic. She offered enrollment. If that's her good class, I'll stick to homeschooling. Coming right after that, a minister can't decide who she represents. Women, trans women, or just confusion itself.
As Minister for Women, are you saying you're also Minister for biological men as well, acting as women?
I am the Minister for Women.
So what's the definition of a woman?
Mr. Borzak, I think what I said at budget estimates last time still holds. It is our view that women are able to participate in sport. They should be able to participate in sport, and it's the sporting organisations themselves who have the best expertise to determine what guidelines they use to determine the safety of their sports.
I suppose the next question is, Minister, are you the Minister for Women and trans women?
I'm the Minister for Women.
Okay, not trans women. So if violence occurs in the home, you are properly
I would say that
if it occurs on the sporting field, you leave it up to someone else to think about.
Mr. Borzak, I would say as the Minister for Women, I am the Minister I am the Minister for Women, and this government views that women include trans women.
So you're the Minister for trans women too then?
Yes. I'm the Minister for Women.
So I don't understand that answer.
I suppose we're coming at it from a different point of view.
Maybe it's just me.
My view is a trans woman is a woman.
Watching her answer was like listening to a buffering video. Lots of noise, no clarity. She wanted to include everyone without actually saying who anyone is. When conviction meets politics, coherence is the first casualty. Over to this one, a woman who preached about reparations gets a taste of her own logic and suddenly forgets how to speak.
You have constantly argued that white people today should pay reparations for slavery even though they had no part in it and that many of their ancestors never owned the slaves. But now we know that your ancestors owned the slaves. So, speaking your language and holding your own standards, you have a net worth of $6 million. And if you spend only 1% of it for reparations, which would be $60,000, you can pay $1,000 to 60 black people each. So I think now would be the perfect time. I can already see black people in the audience. Go ahead, pay your reparations. I'm sure they take PayPal or Venmo.
You could hear the hypocrisy snap in half. The guy just flipped her script word for word, and her brain blue screened. It's funny how fast moral principles disappear when they start applying to you. Justice for all, but not me, right? And in this one, a man tries explaining common sense about gender identity, and the woke activist proudly defends amputation as self-expression.
When was the last time a transgender individual has harmed you in the same way that a schizophrenic killer has done so? You cannot.
Have you seen the videos of the transgender shooters that have shot up a Catholic school just a few weeks ago?
If I'm corrected,
here in Nashville.
If I'm corrected, who shot a certain late politician? It was a straight white MAGA
who was dating what? A transgender furry.
How does that, because that guy is not transgender. If it was a choice, then why isn't he transgender?
What? So the thing.
I want to understand, because that kind of doesn't really make any sense. Why I don't really know why you're putting the blame on transgender people when there are white Christian cis men shooting people.
I condemn that, but what I'm saying is if you have a mental disorder that is being affirmed by an entire society, then you're not going to get the help you need. So I should have the right to cut my limbs off if I feel like a paraplegic in my heart?
Yes. Their brain has developed into disliking their body on a level that I don't think you can quite comprehend, because you have not been in that position where you feel so uncomfortable in your body that you want to risk.
But a sane society doesn't say, whenever little Sally comes up and says, I don't feel comfortable in my own skin, what the parent should do is say, that's okay, you should be yourself. God made you just the way you are, and we're going to help you work through this so that you can feel comfortable in your own skin. But now what we do is we say, okay, you're right, your skin is wrong. God made a mistake when he made you, and he put you in the girl brain and a boy body or something like that. And really, I'm very passionate about this because we have treated an entire generation of children like guinea pigs, and now the suicide rate is astronomical. There are real life consequences to this. The suicide attempt rate in the transgender community is over 40%. Like, that is more than Jews in the Holocaust. Okay, so that tells me something, right? They are not more oppressed than Jews in the Holocaust.
Ah yes, 2025 logic. If you dislike something about yourself, just get the deluxe remodel. The guy's trying to talk reason. The woman's trying to sell feelings first philosophy. It's like arguing whether gravity is offensive. It doesn't care. It still exists. Next up, a feminist storms out of a debate after being debated, because that's apparently harassment now.
When did men get the right to vote?
The right to vote was guaranteed to all people in 1920, according to the 19th Amendment.
Before 1920, were all men allowed to vote?
No.
Okay, great.
They weren't.
Are you aware that men only got any rights to vote about a decade before women?
The founding fathers were all men, so I have no idea what you're talking about.
What does that have to do with the right to vote?
The right to vote was historically withheld from men of color. It was
It was also withheld from the general population.
Do not cut me off. Do not cut me off. I am in the middle of speaking.
I don't care if you're in the middle of speaking. You're in the middle of a debate.
The right to vote.
You don't have your TikTok mute button, sweetheart?
I did not go to school for 4 years and build a platform to be talked to like this. So I will be walking away from the microphone right now, and I would encourage you to get your guest under control. I'm going to take 2 minutes so you can ask him questions if you'd like, and I will be right back.
Because you run the show?
I just won't be back. And
I don't give a what do I care? I'm here to have a debate, not listen to your whining. Do you want to have a debate or not?
I'm not going to be talked to like this.
Nothing says I've won the argument like storming off mid-sentence. The man chuckled, she fumed, and logic quietly left the room. Maybe next time she'll bring receipts instead of feelings, because history isn't sexist. It's just inconvenient to those who don't read beyond hashtags. Then Candace Owens and Charlie Kirk meet a woman who discovers the shocking truth. Black is just a color, not a conspiracy.
I'm a black woman, and I believe that white privilege exists.
What can she not do in America that a white person can do?
Funny about that is blacks were doing better during
Why
that
do
time.
we always call people
No,
blacks?
because
you
I'm
did.
black.
Watching her argue was like watching someone say gravity is racist because apples keep falling. Candace's "because we're black" reply was the most polite way of saying, "Ma'am, please touch grass. Any color will do." Up next, a woke woman equates criticism to hate crimes, and Damon Amani delivers a sermon on how privilege loves pretending to be in pain.
It angers me when people are like, this woke stuff gotta go. That's telling me that you don't care about my lived experience. You don't care about the oppression of the LGBTQ community. You don't care about the oppression of the disabled. You don't care about the oppression of immigrants. You don't care about your fellow neighbor. And that is ungodly. That is not Christian.
But you know what the most ironic thing is? They don't care about it, and they don't care about it while wearing big fat crosses around their necks.
Yes.
Honey, about your lived experience, you're doing better than over 99% of the country. You're not oppressed. And no one is oppressing the disabled. They are oppressed by their disability. And with LGBT, well, taking over every corporation, running the culture with an entire month in your name, and turning every criticism into a hate crime is not exactly oppression. It's called a privilege that others do not have. And with immigrants, I'm an immigrant. I am not oppressed, Sonny. I have the same opportunities as everyone else. And I'm absolutely offended by condescending liberals like you telling me that I am a victim and that I'm oppressed. All of this cuts right into the core of your wokeness, trading righteousness and virtue signaling to look good while shutting down everyone who doesn't bow to your narrative. Like calling Christians ungodly for not being woke. By the way, try saying that to Muslims who are not woke either, and you will quickly realize just how kind Christians have been to you.
Ah, the classic. Disagreeing with me means you hate my identity. Newsflash. Criticism isn't persecution. Damon just performed an exorcism of self-pity. Somewhere, a liberal arts professor just lost Wi-Fi connection mid-virtue signal. Then, a woman teaches biology her way. Apparently men can give birth through the back door. Science just rage quit.
Can men get pregnant?
They certainly can.
How exactly does a man get pregnant?
Called rectal births or butt babies. In some places it's called rearing a child. With all due respect, sir, I'm the expert here.
She said butt babies with the confidence of someone discovering a new species. The man's sigh said what every doctor, nurse, and rational adult was thinking. This timeline needs a reboot. Meanwhile, Sonny Hostin gets hit with the most uncomfortable question, and suddenly the room goes silent.
The White House is looking into offering $5,000 cash bonuses for women to have more babies.
When I looked into that, they're saying that the U.S. birth rate is declining. However, in 2024, there was a 1% increase in U.S. births, but that increase was with Hispanic mothers and Asian mothers. So they don't seem to be concerned about that increase. They seem to be more concerned about a decrease in other populations.
Say it.
It's just based on a study. So I just leave that with all of you.
Well, Sonny, if you are worried about white Americans reproducing more children, perhaps you should encourage black women not to have the highest abortion rate in America.
Only on daytime TV can someone complain about low birth rates, then ignore who's not having babies. Amani just dropped the truth like a hammer, and Sonny had nothing but that classic loading screen expression. Facts don't care about your narrative, even under studio lights. On to the next. Damon Amani roasts Whoopi Goldberg so bad, even Elon Musk's 14 kids felt it.
And speaking of virgins,
Oh my God.
Elon Musk is exiting his White House position as head of Doge.
Well, Whoopi, a few things. First of all, he's not exiting his role. From day one, Elon was classed as a temporary government employee with a 130-day cap on his services at the White House. So under that designation, his services would end when? At the end of May. And we are now at the end of May. Thank you. And on your virgin comment, Elon has 14 kids and the status to charm any woman anytime. But honestly, I'm not sure if the same thing can be said about you, because even though an average man has a much harder time getting laid on demand than women do, I would confidently state that most men, myself included, would take one look at you and say, nah.
She took a cheap shot at Elon Musk, and Damon Amani hit back harder than a Tesla launch. 14 kids, global empire, and still more charm than that entire talk show panel combined. The moment he said, nah, half the audience probably felt secondhand embarrassment. Up next, a woke interviewer asks what a man would do if his son came home claiming to be a girl, and let's just say his answer wasn't out of the liberal handbook.
If your son came home one day and said he was a girl, what would you say?
You are going to the Middle East, bro. You are going to the Middle East. And then let's see how much of a woman you are over there.
Why the Middle East?
I think they'd get him straight. Maybe throw him off a roof or something like that. Only 2 stories, though, so he can survive.
He tells her he'd send the kid to the Middle East to straighten things out, and the interviewer's face says it all. She wanted a progressive answer and got a reality check instead. This one's a classic.
Do you support immigration?
Yeah.
Recently, the state of Massachusetts said that people should step up and open up their homes to house migrants. Would you sign this pledge today to open up your home to house a migrant?
No, never.
Why not?
Why should I? It's my home.
What do we do with the immigrants that are here that don't have housing?
I'm not sure. That's not my job.
The guy proudly says he supports immigration until he's asked to actually do something about it. Suddenly it's all, no, it's my home. Oh, so it's compassion until it gets inconvenient? That woke logic evaporated faster than her patience trying to make sense of it. And here we go again. Another woke politician trying to box someone into an identity label only to get smacked with pure common sense.
Can I ask you what you identify as?
Identify?
Ethnicity?
I identify as an American.
Not an African American?
Yeah, I had to work on my own merits and pretty much promote the principles I believe in, which is freedom, equality for all, which I believe that America does. And that's how I got elected into my position. I didn't get elected into my position because of the color of my skin or do any race baiting stuff that it seems like you're promoting here.
She asks what he identifies as, expecting some long-winded buzzword answer, and he just says, I identify as an American, simple, solid, and absolutely devastating. You can almost hear the woke circuits frying in the background. And here comes the best clip. She starts off screaming about how the patriarchy ruins everything, then 5 seconds later says she actually likes men being the breadwinners because she wants to stay home and be a mom.
Why don't we like the patriarchy? Because the patriarchy. Why? Because it makes it so much harder to exist and just like have equal rights, and it just that.
So do you think women have it like harder in society?
Yes, definitely.
Do you think men at all face any hardships at all, or is it really just like an attack on women in our society?
Well, I feel like they're really expected to be the breadwinners all the time.
Mm-hmm. Do you like that or not like that?
I personally like that because I wouldn't mind not working in the future. So
in the future, you want to be a mom?
Definitely, yes.
Okay, you want to be a wife?
Yes.
What does that look like for you if we don't like the patriarchy?
I'm gonna let you answer that one. Oh, well, I was just going to say it's not about like hardships. It's just about like making it an even playing field.
Okay.
I mean, everyone can have a hard life, but women are like statistically targeted more.
The interviewer just connects the dots and boom, silence. That's the sound of feminism short-circuiting in real time. Meanwhile, a campus heroine confronts anti-abortion activists, threatens cops, and still thinks she's the victim of oppression.
Hello.
How's it going?
It's going. What's
Good.
your name?
My name's Mark. What's yours?
Alicia.
Good to meet you.
Yo, no handshake?
No,
Up
that's
to you.
okay.
He's
putting his phone in.
Okay, no worries, no worries. So, how you guys doing today?
Doing great.
So what are you guys doing here?
What do you think?
I'm asking you.
We are anti-abortion activists.
Really?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shocking, isn't it?
Quite. Yeah. So you got approval from...
Thomas Jefferson.
Thomas Jefferson.
Yeah, James Madison.
Did you get approval from the police department?
No, they don't rank as high as those guys do.
When you want to convey a message, you want to convey a message without tearing other people down, right? Right? Is that what we want to do to give that message?
Well, I don't know. I guess it depends, huh?
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So if I take these signs down, you gonna call the cops? Because I know the cops, and I know UFPD, and they're not going to arrest me.
Well, we had someone, was it last year, that did that, and they got arrested.
Really?
So is your goal to get us off this plaza or something?
My goal is to send you a different message, one from college students.
Okay.
Isn't that fun?
Yeah,
Is it fun
you're
when
amusing.
it happens to you?
You're amusing.
You're using 911
Hello?
and they're asking you questions. You have to take that system seriously.
So do you want to take them down, or you want me to get someone to take them down? It's funny, isn't it? You can put it on YouTube. My name's Alicia. Yeah, send a couple officers. How about that? How about 7, 9? What do you think? Give me a number. Now, again, I'll say it a little louder. They know who I am.
I can't imagine why.
And I think you've got about 30 minutes to pack up your pretty signs before the cops show up, and then we can all talk about it. With everyone watching.
Looking forward to it, actually.
Now, I want you to know, I don't have no authority, but I am from Atlanta.
Okay.
I study astrophysics. Okay, you might see me on the TV one day. And the police are right there. You want to go talk to them with me? You can come with me too. I'll go talk to them then.
Okay, go right ahead.
Why don't you take this video, post it on your little YouTube, and see what happens?
You'd like nothing other than that, I'm sure.
Peace, love, and prosperity.
She came to defend women's rights, then threatened to arrest people for using theirs. Peak modern activism, no arguments, just attitude and a phone call to the nearest authority. By the time she finished lecturing, even her imaginary cops were like, "Ma'am, this is a Wendy's." Now we got political theater at its finest.
Joe Manchin, senator from West Virginia, is he a racist?
I can't comment on that.
Okay, what about Mark Kelly from Arizona?
Similarly, cannot comment on that.
Maggie Hessen,
Also
senator
cannot comment.
New Hampshire? Okay, can't comment on their being a racist or not. How about Catherine Cortez Masto from Nevada?
Likewise, Mr. Rowe.
Okay, can't comment on whether they're racist or not.
I don't have an opinion as to the matter.
Okay, because you called me a racist. And you called me a racist because I said that Title 42 should be enforced. Something, by the way, that this administration did to the tune of over 1 million people.
2.5 million people, actually.
Right. So this administration is racist?
I believe this administration has made a number of failures on the racial justice front.
So the Biden administration is racist?
I can't comment as the administration.
Interesting. Good to know. Good to know that the Biden administration is racist and get that on the record. The administration stood up. The senators I just listed said that Title 42 should have stayed in place. Now, my personal view is that Title 42 wasn't the thing that needed to stay in place, that what ought to be in place is an actual border security that secures the border.
Chip Roy calmly walks the witness right into his own trap. The guy had no problem calling Roy racist for supporting Title 42, but suddenly can't comment when it's Biden and Democrat senators doing the same thing. You can almost hear the logic short-circuiting as Roy just sits there, letting hypocrisy destroy itself. Up next, there is a masterclass in calm demolition.
There's the extreme approach that you are admittedly taking, and there is biological sex, and a lot of times people are conflating sex and gender.
She began by saying that my view is extreme. Okay, so the view that every single person on Earth has held up until 15 seconds ago is extreme, and the view that almost everyone does right now still hold is extreme, apparently. They are conflating gender and sex, because on one hand they say, well, you got your biological sex, but then your gender is whatever social construct. But then they turn around and say that trans women are women. You are conflating and gender just by saying that. So that's the problem.
Part of me wants to ask why you care so much.
I care about the truth. So basic truth matters. I want to live in a society where people care about the truth and we're grounded in truth. Right. I care about children, and these insane ideas about gender are being foisted on kids, and that bothers me quite a bit. I care about the women who are having their opportunities stolen from them. I care quite a bit, yeah.
The woman calls Matt Walsh extreme, and he just smiles and points out that his view was literally the default belief of every human being until about 5 minutes ago. Then he flips her own conflating gender and sex line right back at her. She laughs, but you can tell that laugh's covering a total logic collapse. Here's another gem. A woman overshares her empowering reason for certain lifestyle choices and gets hit with one brutally honest reply she didn't see coming.
I think the reason that, I sleep with so many guys is because it's the only time I can really feel validation from a man. I mean, my dad told me every single day until he died that I was a failure of a daughter.
So you're getting closure by proving your father's point.
She's not looking for love. She's collecting validation like loyalty points. The sad part? She doesn't see that proving her father right isn't rebellion. It's surrender. Modern feminism told her empowerment means body count. Turns out, it's just emotional bankruptcy with lipstick. Up next, a woman assumes a man's uneducated, only to find out he's more qualified than her feminist studies degree.
Hey, it's okay if you didn't finish college. That's fine.
Do you think I didn't finish college?
I mean, that's the vibe I'm getting right now. I don't know.
Where do you go to school?
Here at OU.
What's your degree?
Arts. Yeah.
Which one?
Studio.
Studio? You want to know some funny thing?
What is the funny thing?
I actually started school at the University of Oklahoma.
I bet you did.
As an art student.
Oh, I bet you did.
Studio. I did about a year and a half of studio art. Then I took some philosophy classes. Then I get my undergraduate degree in philosophy with a minor in history of science.
And you did all that and you still chose to be out here doing
And
this.
philosophy. And then, crazy enough, because I had gotten really into the history of science, I stayed at the University of Oklahoma and I got a master's degree in the history of science.
Good for you.
And the entire time, I was a funded student, teaching, no less. Whenever I was, what's the name of the biggest scholarship that you can get as an incoming studio art student?
I don't even know. I was an incoming biology student and I went to that class and I said, this sounds lame,
Yeah.
so I chose the art degree.
So I had the Selma Nafee scholarship entering the studio art program.
Wait, hold on, sorry. I gotta look for gold stars really
Yeah.
quick. I don't know if I have any gold stars.
See, the thing
I'm
is
sorry.
you brought it up and you said, because I was an advocate of extending the laws against murder equally to all people, that I must not have gone to school. And I started to tell you that I went to the school longer than you have and longer than you will.
You got a degree and that's really, really awesome for you.
Not a degree.
Personally, I don't give that much of
Multiple degrees.
awesome.
Not what I base my argument on, but that is how I refute your assertion and accusation that I'm clearly uneducated.
Okay.
She judged his education level based on his pro-life stance, because apparently moral conviction equals ignorance these days. Then she found out he had more degrees than her, and a scholarship to boot. The vibe she got? That was an embarrassment setting in. Next, we've got a proud logic warrior who's all for identifying as anything until that same logic comes knocking.
Can you identify as a black person?
No,
Why?
because I'm not black.
I'm not a woman, but I can identify as a woman according to you.
If you transition, maybe.
What defines a transition?
If that's your goal, you know?
If you believe it.
Sure.
If you believe you're black, why aren't you black?
Well, that's just not, that's like genetics. That's like ancestry.
You're also born a man or a woman. It's the same thing. That's also genetics.
Okay, I'm over it.
The interviewer asks if he can identify as black, and suddenly belief isn't enough, it's genetics. Funny how science only matters when it saves the argument. The moment he flips her words back, she taps out faster than her reasoning could load. This time, a group of self-proclaimed empowered thinkers walks right into their own trap.
Who controls access to men or women?
Women.
Yeah, woman. Woman, obviously.
Yeah, so I would say hookup culture, if we want to see hookup culture stop, because women kind of control when happens, so do you have anyone to blame but yourselves on that one? You know? Thoughts? Okay, yeah, crickets, here we go. Okay, so
The host simply asks who controls access to sex, and every single one proudly says women. Then he points out that if hookup culture is a problem, maybe they should look in the mirror. Suddenly, the queens of debate forget how to speak. Crickets louder than their feminism. This part is brutal.
Like, there's toxic masculinity, and I feel like that's usually when I look at a person, I'm like, okay, that, like, the masculinity is showing, you know? That's why I'm like, in moderation.
wait, so you're saying when masculinity is apparent or showing, that equals toxic masculinity?
No, it's just sometimes it's like a little excessive, and that's usually when I like notice it.
What is excessive masculinity?
You know, like, oh, I need this like big old car. It's like, okay, you're compensating for something.
Compensating for what?
A lot of things, I can tell you that much.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. List it.
I mean, probably like their low self-esteem and maybe their tiny dicks. Can I say that?
Sure.
Okay.
Tiny dicks. So do women who want nice cars, do they have loose pussies?
No, they got taste. There's
Oh, so it's only bad if men have a desire for material goods?
No. These are all just like really misogynistic. I don't necessarily need a man to tell me. I also have females who can support me. I feel like women and men can both provide that.
Wait,
So I don't
what
know.
is misogynistic about his statement here?
Well, I don't know why it has to be a man.
How do you define misogyny?
I don't know. I don't like this.
What? I'm just asking how you define misogyny.
Can I go?
Are you okay? Like, do you want to go as in leave? Is it because I asked how you define misogyny?
She starts tossing around words like toxic masculinity and misogyny like she's reading straight from Twitter, and the host just calmly asks, what does that mean? You can actually see the panic set in. One second she's confident, the next she's ready to leave the table. Nothing ends a woke argument faster than basic definitions. Next, we've got a feminist hero trying to lecture a white man for holding a Feminists for Trump sign, and it backfires in record time.
Kind of ironic that a white man is wearing a woman for Trump and a feminist for Trump when I consider myself a feminist. And
did you just assume my gender? You said white man.
Okay, I see your point there.
How do you know I'm not a woman?
I see your point.
You need to check your white privilege, your white female privilege, I think.
You think?
A little bit. I actually identify as a non-binary, gender-fluid dragonkin.
Are you trying to make up? Are you just trying to be funny now?
Like part dragon, like I can breathe fire, and sometimes I flap my wings and I whoosh into the sky.
The guy hits her with, did you just assume my gender? And suddenly, she's the one checking her privilege. When he claims to identify as a gender-fluid dragonkin, her logic bursts into flames faster than his imaginary wings. This one's straight out of the Logic Hurts Feelings Hall of Fame.
Yeah. It's interesting to me that you assumed that I have a penis. Why? Because you seem. Is it because of a societal construct? Yes. That's why?
The guy tries to play the gender theory card, saying everything's a social construct, and Crowder just flips it on him in 2 sentences. Then why do you assume I have a penis? Instant silence. You can literally see the soul leave his body as his own argument collapses in real time. Up next, one's peak irony.
What are you?
I'm a cisgendered man.
What does that
mean? So that means you were born a woman, and therefore you still identify as a woman, so you're a cisgendered woman, I would say.
And that's because of my physical femaleness.
You identify with how you were born
What am I?
originally. Well, I assume you're a cisgendered
I'm not
man,
a cis anything, mate.
if I may assume.
I'm not a cis anything. I'm just a man.
Well, no, but you're a cisgendered man.
No, I'm not a cisgendered anything.
But hang on.
What does cis mean?
Well, that means that you were born the way that you identify
No,
now.
I'm just born a man.
But someone who transitions.
Why are you
to be a
insisting
man.
on calling me something I'm not?
Well, you can refer to yourself as just a man if you like, but
Most people identify as male or female, man or woman.
that's right. The vast majority of people. But that doesn't mean that there aren't other people who identify differently.
There are 100
lots of other
different
identities.
genders on this BBC list, apparently.
The guest proudly explains cisgender like he's teaching a college seminar, and Piers Morgan just keeps saying, I'm not a cis anything, I'm just a man. You can see the guest glitching, trying to process how his own don't label people rule just got used against him. It's like watching woke logic eat itself on live TV. Here's a comedy gold.
Older people like you guys, you can't grasp the idea.
Excuse me, I'm quite young.
All right, buddy.
I identify as 19.
See, this is the argument that people keep pulling. It's not about that.
Why
If
is that
people
not
want
a
to be
legitimate argument, though? Why can't I identify as a black person, but I can identify as a woman?
See, this is what I mean. Why is it harmful that people want to identify as another gender? How does that harm you?
How does it harm you that I want to identify as 19?
It doesn't harm me.
Okay, so then why don't you accept it?
I didn't say I didn't accept it.
Do you accept that I'm 19?
If you want to say that, it doesn't matter. It doesn't affect me.
So will you take back your statement where you said that I was an old man?
What?
She tries the classic "you older people just don't get it" line, and the guy fires back, "I identify as 19. You can actually watch her soul leave her body as the logic boomerangs right back. When she admits it doesn't harm her, he seals it with, "So take back calling me old." Pure poetic justice. Coming up, a woman preaches natural beauty while wearing enough makeup to open a Sephora.
Women can do whatever they want to make themselves look better. What's wrong with that?
But there's a culture in thinking that that's what looks better specifically on women. We shoot men in high definition and we make women airbrush like emojis. And so I don't like that. I don't want to have Botox. I don't want to have filler. I don't want to have a facelift. I'm enjoying my grey hairs.
Well, Jamila, you are sitting here with dyed hair and a pound of makeup on your face, preaching about being natural. That's silly, no?
She gave a speech about embracing the natural look while rocking half a makeup counter and dyed roots. Damon just pointed it out, and suddenly, silence. The hypocrisy was louder than her blush. Some truths don't need a punchline, just a mirror. Now, a conservative man sits quietly with a sign, and woke women take turns trying to cancel free speech.
Is this you?
Yeah, me.
Okay, so you need to be over there.
Why is that?
Are you a student?
No.
Okay, so then you need to be over there or at the transformational link. Those are our exclusive activity spaces.
But isn't this America where I have freedom of speech?
I'm not going to argue with you. I'm just letting you know. So.
And what happens if I don't move?
So, well, then I need to call the police department. So, just to let you know, those are the two spots that you can be at.
Well,
okay?
I'm in America. Okay. So I think I can be here.
Not be here. You've been told to move. You need to move back over to the Kirchhoff, or we'll call and have you removed.
If GVPD tells me to move, then I will move.
You've got to be kidding me.
No. Because this is America.
This is Grand Valley's campus.
In America.
Yeah. Oh, whatever.
If I have to notify GVPD, you will be trespassed from the university and will be arrested.
This is the modern university where diversity of thought means everyone must think the same. One man sits quietly with a sign, and suddenly two women turn into the speech police. Nothing says tolerance like threatening to call the cops on someone for existing peacefully. This one's just brutal.
Men are providers, so go do that job. Go learn a trade. Go do something.
Well, you said that that's all they're good for.
Yeah.
And what are you good for?
A lot of things.
Like?
I'm funny. I'm smart.
You haven't demonstrated that yet.
Okay, well, that's your opinion. I'm a musician. I dance.
You dance?
The list goes on and on.
What a great quality. You can dance. What do you bring to the table, though?
What do I bring to the table? Yeah. I'm smart. Okay. I'm funny. I'm attractive. I have talents.
I don't know if men are so useless that their only job is to be fighting for you. It sounds like you're just a typified eater. Like, I don't know what you're really bringing to the table. You're just kind of consuming resources, right?
I mean, if you want to hear the answer that I could be domesticated and I can cook and clean and do all that, I can.
No, that's not what I'm asking. What I'm asking is what of value are you bringing to society?
By being me.
By being you. I'm enough.
I am enough.
Okay.
She starts strong, declaring that men are only good for providing, then instantly falls apart when asked what she brings to the table. I'm funny, I'm smart, I dance. Sure. Then when pressed for real value, she proudly says, I am enough. The guy's laugh says it all. Nothing owns woke entitlement faster than reality. Finally, we have got a total mic drop.
Women in this country still make 77 cents on the dollar for what men make. So if women don't make less than men?
Actually, if you start looking at the numbers, Rachel, there are lots of reasons for that.
Wait. Well, don't tell me the reasons are. Do women make less than men for doing the same work?
No, because...
Wow.
Well, for example, men work an average of 44 hours a week. Women work 41 hours a week. Men go into professions like engineering, science, and math that earn more. Women want more flexible professions.
Listen, this is not a math is hard.
No. Yes, it is, actually.
No, right now, women are making 77 cents on the dollar for what men are making. So,
but that's not true. If so,
let Rachel make her point.
Every greedy businessman in America would hire only women, save 25%, and be hugely profitable. And I love how passionate you are. I wish you were as right about what you're saying as you are passionate about it. I really do.
She throws out the classic, women make 77 cents for every dollar men make line like it's gospel, and the guy just calmly tears it to shreds. He points out men work longer hours, take tougher jobs, and if that pay gap were real, every company would just hire women for cheap labor. The silence after that, priceless. Next up, Damon Imani delivers a hair-raising roast to a woke influencer who screams cultural appropriation while rocking a salon special.
Like, Sonny, you scream cultural appropriation all the time, yet here you are, I'll look at you. I say congratulations with your new hairstyle. It looks good on you, but you straightened it and you colored it blonde. That's stealing white people's culture.
The self-proclaimed defender of culture shows up with salon fresh blonde hair. Maybe appropriation only counts when someone else does it. Imani didn't need a speech, just one sentence strong enough to make a flat iron curl in shame. Over to the next video, an actress lectures about authoritarian systems while freely doing it on national TV. Irony just called, it wants royalties.
I had family members who voted for Trump. I'm from Ohio. We had to have those conversations. But when you're in an authoritarian slide, it becomes a closed system. The leader is the source of information. So when you're inside of that circular information system, then it's very hard to talk about anything because there's no basis in fact.
Well, Carrie, first of all, I'm sorry about your family. I bet you're not easy to deal with. But your side, including you, judging by your words, you strongly believe that your country is run by an authoritarian or a king. And that's what we are being told by the news media and people on this show. Yet somehow you are allowed by the king to protest no kings. So I would say you might be inside a circular information system that doesn't have basis in facts, no?
There's a special kind of irony in declaring you're silenced right into a studio camera. The revolution isn't being televised, it's being misdiagnosed. Imani didn't debate her, he just pointed out the open door she insists is locked. Meanwhile, a podcast activist says she'd never date a cop because they're racist, but somehow racism magically disappears when she's half white.
Would you date a police officer?
No, the pigs, because the institution they support is inherently racist and profiles black and brown Americans especially, throws them into jail, which is a continuation of the slave trade essentially. People are working in prisons for less than minimum wage, making pennies and dimes, and it's unfair, and that's what you contribute to if you're a cop.
My question to you is, I disagree with you on...
Yeah, I bet you do,
what?
White boy.
That's a bit racist.
Oh my god, no, you're one of those. How can you be racist against... And I'm also half white, so like, how can I be racist against you?
You don't think you can be racist towards someone who's white?
No, I don't, because you've never experienced racism in history.
White people haven't experienced racism.
When have they experienced
What's your definition of racism?
I'd say basically like the persecution in any type of way that leads to the downfall of just like someone's life.
Racism, according to her, is whatever ruins your vibe for the day. Cops are oppressors, disagreement is privilege, and logic. That's just another social construct. At this rate, her next protest will be against dictionaries. Next up, two self-proclaimed feminists call a man misogynist, then completely forget what the word even means.
Very misogynistic, realistically.
So what is misogyny? So why are you using words that you don't even know the definition of?
No, that's not what I meant. I think you are misogynistic, though.
Well, what does misogynistic mean, though? Like, just so I know what you're calling me.
Okay, so the reason I said it is just, again, based on the
Because you hear it on the internet?
Nah, bro, are you stupid? No.
You know what's wild? Words like misogynist get thrown around like confetti, but ask for a definition and suddenly everyone's Wi-Fi disconnects. If you can't explain your accusation, maybe the problem isn't men, it's your vocabulary. Meanwhile, a woman proudly declares she's had abortions and will do it again, but she is a good Christian.
If you can ask... Thank you so much for
It's... Why would you say thank you? Why are you against her right to speak? She just said thank you for doing what you're doing, and you said F you.
She's coming up while people are arguing that she's gonna create something.
No, she said thank you for doing what you're doing, and you said F you. I'm saying you also claim to be a Christian, but you're telling me you've murdered a child and that you plan to murder another one. That's what you've told me.
And I can be Christian any day I want to.
But what would Christ say?
I go to church every Sunday.
That doesn't matter to me.
I read the Bible. I go to church every school day. I'm a
But
part
what
of
does the Bible tell you to do? Love God with all your heart, soul, and mind?
And people who are Christian murder people on the street with mass shootings.
I don't think so.
Yes.
I don't think Christians murder.
She's out here saying, I go to church, I read the Bible. Like, that cancels out. Well, everything else she just said, ma'am, that's not how Christianity works. It's not a reward point system. You don't get one sin free for every verse read. Coming up, a white woman demands all white people be deported until she realizes she'd need to pack her own bags too.
Mass deportations have begun.
The only ones that should be deported are the white people because no white people actually belong in this country.
So where are you going?
This is peak 2025 energy. White guilt, speed running self-destruction. She wanted to sound woke, ended up volunteering for deportation. Next time, maybe check your reflection before starting a revolution. Then a woke Christian insists the Bible doesn't say homosexuality is abomination.
I'm a Christian.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm a Christian, and I can tell you all the scriptures.
Go for it.
Let's go.
So, homosexuality is an abomination.
No, it's not. No,
okay,
where,
1 Corinthians 6:9.
Where in the Bible does it say that?
1 Corinthians 6:9,
No,
Romans 1:26,
no,
27. Pull it up.
Homosexuality wasn't in the Bible until 1946.
Which version was that? Which
it
one
was
the
a
attitude?
version of NIV.
No, it wasn't. It's RSV.
And the King James Bible.
No, it wasn't.
Yes. No.
So King James Bible has sodomite, which translates in Greek.
No, it does not.
Which means male.
Sodom was the sin of abusing the foreigner.
Well, I'm telling you what the word sodomite means.
Apparently, Sodom wasn't destroyed for sexual immorality. It was a 5-star Yelp review gone wrong. Who knew God leveled a city over poor guest service? It's wild how people will rewrite scripture to match their worldview instead of, reading it. On to the next video, a debate about fetus versus baby ends with Latin class 101. Turns out fetus literally means small human. Plot twist, words have meanings.
I just wanted to ask you, do you know what the difference is between a baby and a fetus?
It's a great question. Can you define what fetus means? Or where it comes from, or what the root of that word is?
My guess would probably be a human, basically some human cells that have begun to differentiate into what we would consider a human. It's further past a fertilized egg, but it's not a viable human being or a living human being. It's still attached to the mother's resources.
So this is a really common question that we get on college campuses and online. The word fetus is Latin, and literally all that it means is small person, small human. So when we're talking about a fetus and we're talking about a baby, they are completely synonymous. They mean exactly the same thing.
The setup was supposed to make her stumble, but she pulled out ancient Rome instead. When you bring Latin to a culture war, you're not just winning, you're grading everyone else's homework. Then, a woman praises her husband for doing manly chores, but equality suddenly goes missing when it's her turn to scrub.
But I love the fact that, Manny is younger, and it's very helpful that he's handy. And when we travel, I'm not picking up any bags. He's the one that's hefting them overhead. He throws the garbage out. Right. He does the heavy stuff.
Well, right, Sonny, but plenty of times, every single one of you on this show slammed men and called them misogynists for saying that they prefer women who clean, cook, and take care of the children. Yet now, you just praised some of men's duties, like picking up your bags and taking out the trash. So, to me, it sounds like you have no issues with gender roles when it benefits you.
When gender roles mean free labor, they're acts of love. But reverse the situation and it's suddenly the patriarchy. Selective feminism really does come with its own instruction manual. Page 1, only when it's convenient. And finally, a woke woman proves once again that tolerance ends where a conservative begins.
I'm not giving you any answers. I don't think anyone here wants to give you answers. You're literally talking to me right now. I know, because I'm telling you that I don't want to give you any answers. Nobody here wants to give you answers. It's Donald Trump's birthday. You're better to move on. No. You're better to move on. No. This is not the right place for you. Aren't you all about inclusivity? That's the paradox of inclusivity. The paradox of tolerance. Have you heard that? What is so wrong with me that I shouldn't be welcome here? Because we don't have to tolerate intolerance. Go on. What about me specifically? Should I not be welcome here? You are here questioning why people are here peacefully demonstrating. We have the right to be here peacefully demonstrating. Everyone here is literally telling you why they're here with their signs, with their very presence. And yet here you are, getting in people's faces, keeping them away from what's important. And so I'm done with you now, and I really just suggest
you got your 15. No, because this is all about love, and so I should be welcome.
The conservative came to their space, open to discussion, ready to listen, and somehow she's the intolerant one? Meanwhile, Miss Inclusivity can't even handle a conversation without storming off. One side's brave enough to engage, the other just wants echo chambers with nicer fonts. And that's a wrap on today's emotional roller coaster, where logic won and hypocrisy cried in the corner. If you enjoyed watching woke logic self-destruct, don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop your favorite moment in the comments. See you next time for round 3 of Reality versus Delusion.